a decade ago or more even. I remember NEHU was one of the first universities to start CBCS even before UGC proposed the guidelines. It was in way back in 2008, and then from 2009 onward, NEHU had this CBCS. It was all necessitated even at that time because of a reason that UGC wanted to have 3 E's, the equity, efficiency, and excellence in higher education. So to keep this preamble in mind, they wanted to have reforms in higher education where there are 3 components which have to be done well. One is the innovation and improvements in curriculum, because curriculum of each say subject area, whether it is social science or whatever areas we have, there must be innovation and improvements. With the passage of time, the things have changed, so as the curriculum must change to suit the requirement of the present day among our students. So this was one. The second was the teaching and learning process. We have to innovate, and we have to have a mode of teaching and learning which can benefit immensely to the students. And of course, by end of the day, the examination and evaluation, because examination is a very important component for both, for students' performance and also for faculty performance, that how best we are imparting our teaching to the student. So there must be a reform in examination and evaluation system. So I will keep on going on each of these points as we dwell upon. This was necessitated, as I said, primarily because we have a huge diversity of our higher education system, because country is huge. People follow multiple approaches for different purpose of examination and evaluation methods. And that creates the difficulty in anyone trying to assess the student. Suppose if there is a company who is going to hire the student, say from Karnataka or from, say, West Bengal or from Meghalaya. So people use different criteria to assess the student. So that created difficulty to assess properly the performance of students graduating from different universities. So in order to minimize this difficulty, the UGC thought that why not we have a very close to uniform system, although we are still a huge country with huge number of students and institutions, but then try to minimize this diversity so that the assessment of a student can be done by any by any employer or academia. So then they came the semester system, the first, because if you remember, there are many universities hope that now all university must have transformed to semester system. But I think 2 years ago, many universities, they were still following colleges following the annual teaching system. So now what is semester system? Semester system, in fact, is not new to this country. I mean, it came with IITs when they were established. Some of the universities like Jawaharlal Nehru University had a semester system since inception virtually. NEHU, I feel proud of Northeastern Hill University has a semester system, way back in early 80s. Very, very early time. And semester system virtually is nothing but dividing an academic year into 2. So 6 months, 6 months. Sometimes people divide with 3 and 4, can have trimester and the quarter semester. But semester is nothing but a division of an academic year into 2. Now, what is the benefit of semester system? First, the benefit of semester system where it keeps a student busy all the year around. What happens that if you have annual system, so whatever you teach in first month, student has to remember till the 11th, 12th month before they appear for exam. So instead of that, what we are doing is having a concentrated learning where you can, if it is good, I tell you a little later, I will also emphasize It is good for both, for student and faculty, because in semester system, you can finish up part of your curriculum in 6 months and then move forward to the next semester, so that you prepare those well and give it to the student. So it is good for both the student and for faculty. So it's otherwise it's very hard to remember, as I said, what was taught in the first month of the year. And then in the another advantage in annual system, that suppose if you have a in 6 months you finish 3 courses or 4 courses or 5, and then next 6 months you can learn another 4 courses. Otherwise, in annual system, you keep on learning same thing for whole year, and that was the difficulty. So you have no opportunity to learn something new quickly. So this was the one of the advantages. And then as I said, it helps teachers also, because in annual system you had to say prepare whole year, say 4, 5, 6 papers. Now you can prepare only 2 or 3, finish it up, then you can go. So it is providing concentrated learning for both, for teaching as well as for the student learning. Now we come back to the original topic which was given to us, is the choice-based credit system. What is there are one choice-based credit system. So we have to know what is choice-based. And this is, as I said, is not new, maybe new to us in this country. And as I said, NEHU started way back. This is primarily with the change paradigm of the system. A lot of newer things have come up. So it was envisaged that why not the students should be given a choice? Because you must have seen in your own families, in your own neighborhood, in your own society, that students have varied interest. So if a student, and because of parental pressure or family pressure or whatever, a student go for a particular area, and then why not give opportunity to the student to learn, in addition to their core course, something else? Maybe interest in music, maybe interest in computers, maybe interest in economics, maybe interest in statistics, bioinformatics, any course. So the choice must be given to the student from basket of courses which any university and college is offering. So the first preamble is to provide choice. Now I will tell you how much choice. I mean, the choice has to be under the limit, so that we do not dilute the core, say, program. Say if there is a student of history, must study almost 75% or 80% of core courses in history, so that history teaching and learning is not diluted. Options can be, choice can be given only to that 20 to 25%, so that a student can garner additional knowledge from whatever interest he or she is having. So the choice was the first. So one can award the degree, diploma, certificate, whatever, based on, now the next is the credit system. What is credit system? In this, you all remember, because we all belong to that generation where we used to be marked as say percentage. Somebody gets 60%, somebody gets 65%, somebody gets 63%, somebody gets 70%, and there always has to be a issue of that comparing to each other, that 65% is better than 64% or 63%. So this created a lot of I'll say a pressure on a student, that somebody is better than me just because of 1% or 2% or 3%. So it created a lot of even social issues where parents used to compare their kids and so on and so forth. So in order to remove that hustle of comparing 1%, 2% differences, so that you can have a grading system where all the students of 60 and 65 or 65 and 70 or 65 and 75, they are clubbed together and you grade them. But in order to do that, they came how to measure a content of the paper, content of a course. And that came with the credit word, number of credits. So the credit is nothing, but it is a major unit by which you measure a course. Suppose you have 2 credit course, you can have 4 credit course, you can have 6 credit course. So the credit is the unit by which you measure the course paper content, that how big your course is, how small your course is. So for any degree, diploma, certificate, you can award these degrees, diploma and certificate based on how much content a student has studied. And how do you do that? By putting in a word called credit. And I tell you, there are different ways people have defined credit, but by and large, now credit is very well defined, that one unit, as I said, by which you measure a course is how much credit, I mean, how much time do you give to them? And generally 1 hour per week, 1 hour per week for 14 to 16 weeks of contact with the student is defined as 1 credit. So if you have 2 credit course, then you have to have 2 hours per week for 14 to 16 weeks. If you have a 4 credit course, so as I said, it is a measure of the course content. So depending on that, you are in touch with the student, you teach the student and complete it. So anyway, so the choice has to be given into the credit system so that a student can garner some credit, some course from discipline which he or she is interested, and add on to your discipline so that we can award the final degree. So that is how the CBCS arose. And then of course is nothing but a paper. And there is another word which people use is called credit point. One is credit that I have defined. Credit point is virtually nothing but the product of the grade which a student has achieved into the credit. Suppose you have a 4 credit course and a particular student gets grade 6. So 4 into 6 becomes 20, say 24. So accordingly, the credit point is the product of grade point into number of credits. Now, what is grade point then? So grade point, as I was just telling you a couple of minutes ago, that you grade the student. Instead of percentage, you can grade the student in A, B, C, D, whatever, or you can have a numerical grade, say in a scale of 10, say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, whatever, 10. And so suppose you have a letter grade, A, B, C, D, or you have a numerical grade, say 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And accordingly, the grade point, as I said, is a weight which are the letter which student gets in the examination performance. Then there are 2 words, very simply I'll explain them. One called SGPA, and I'm sure most of you must be knowing, those who have gone through the system in their education system, the younger ones. But for those who are seniors, the semester SGPA and CGPA. SGPA, S stands for semester grade point average, and CGPA is a cumulative by end of all semesters. So what is SGPA? It is nothing but, suppose in a semester there are 4 papers. Each paper has a credit, say 2 credit, 4 credit, 3, whatever credit, and a student gets a particular grade point. So you multiply grade point with credit and you get credit point. So you add all credit points and divide by total number of credits in that semester. That's all. So the SGPA is a ratio of total credit points and the total credits during that semester. So for each semester you have a SGPA. So suppose there is an undergraduate program of say 6 semesters. Now in NEP 2020 you are going to have 8 semesters, 4-year program. So each semester student will have SGPA, and by end of all 8 semesters or 3 semesters currently or 6 semesters currently, you can have CGPA. What is the cumulative grade point average? And that is nothing but the ratio of total credit points and the sum of total credits in all semesters, not one, all semesters of that program. So I will explain it little better. Maybe I have examples, so that will make it more clearer. Now I'll take you to some of these terminologies which people have been using, like core courses. I also use the core course. Core course is a compulsorily has to be studied by the student for a particular discipline. Say a zoology student or a botany student or a chemistry student must study the core courses of that subject so that it doesn't get diluted. So you have core courses which are compulsorily studied by the student for that program. Then we have elective courses. Elective courses where you can have the varieties, where some courses can be generic elective, very generic. Some can be discipline centric elective. Like suppose a student of political science can take very close to political science, which is discipline centric, maybe some course from sociology, or within political science, there are variety of discipline centric courses. Then we have open electives where a student can take, which can be even non-credit course. What is the purpose of these courses? Purpose is to expand the scope of a student so that we expose them in multiple areas of their interest so that student proficiency and skill can be enhanced. And then there are words people use, has been there earlier also, called foundation courses, where as I said, country is huge. There are many institutions. So suppose if a student from, say, Uttar Pradesh goes to Karnataka, and then he or she has to learn the language or has to have some basic knowledge in that particular area, which is maybe computer or whatever. So then the student can be given these compulsory foundation courses so that it can enhance their knowledge. And of course, the elective foundation, which is man-making or value-based education that can be given to the student. Now, as I said, the grading system which evolved in order to minimize the comparing student from one another based on half a percentage or 1% or 2%. So the grading system was evolved to have a unified grading system. And once you have a unified grading system, that will help student mobility also. Suppose if you have A grade student or B grade student and move from, say, one place to another place because parents have moved or a student has a better opportunity there. So one can move from one place to another place, and it is very easy for even employers to assess the performance of a student. So that is how the uniform grading system was required. Now, how much the credit system which you require to complete a program? And as I said, I'm giving you the earlier one, where for any PG program, which is primarily a 2 years program, 4 semester, and there you can have minimum credits, say 70 to 90 credits. For UG program, which is 3 year, 6 semester program, you should have 120 to 140 credits. Now in the new one, I will tell you at the later part, now we are going to have 4 years UG program, which will have 8 semesters. And this program must have 160 to 180 credits. So you have to increase your course content so that the student can have a better knowledge system. Now diploma, which was 1 year, I said, please keep in mind, or currently what we are doing is 1 year, 2 semester program. So having 40 credits, and certificate courses can be of 1 semester, 6 months, and 20 credits. And as I said, that 70 to 75% credits have to be from the core, 20% credit can be open, elective, whatever, and 10 can be for foundation courses. Now I'll shift you to the examination evaluation. Why do we examine or evaluate the student? To classify the student's achievement, one, and to use this result to improve our teaching and learning. These two components which are very vital to the examination system. Why do we have the examination? So the purpose of examination is to segregate the student, say between best, better, good, and poor, and it is also integral part of teaching and learning system. Now, what is the need to examine the examination system? I'll tell you here, I'll spend little time and you all will agree with me. A lot of time we have seen the paper setters, you and me, we set unrelated questions. So question setting is very important component and must be done with all careness so that you can assess the student well. So I tell you because I mean it is nothing that way confidential. You all know about NET examination, which UGC and CSIR conducts. You know those paper setters. There are three categories of paper setters: those who set the question and no student can answer, so they are not a good paper setter, so they are removed from the panel immediately. And second is those paper setters who set the question and every student answers correctly. They are also very bad paper setters, so they're also removed. So you must understand what I'm trying to convey to you, that your paper setting has to be in such a way that you are able to segregate the student between who is good, who is not good accordingly. Because you know, if everybody passes, what you call then you are not going to segregate. So the questions must be related to the curriculum, number one, but it must be set in such a way that you can segregate the student accordingly. Then the second one is unrelated marking. This is also very important component. Of course, it has been minimized in most of the competitive exams now. Otherwise, in theoretical, where we all do under undergraduate system or postgraduate system, that we don't spend much time to the script and try to give what you call generalized marks, what you call average marking. Everybody out of 10, you give 6 or 7 or 5 or 4. That's not fair. The unrelated marking, those who have done well should be given good marks. Those who have not done well should not be given good marks. So it must be related. It should not be unrelated. And untimely evaluation. A lot of times you and I don't pay much attention to evaluation of scripts. I mean, I know many cases with my past experiences. I'm not blaming anyone, but we all must keep in our mind that when you have taken a task, you must be responsible. A lot of times scripts come and we forget to evaluate, or we keep the script at home and go for whatever relatives or visit or go outside. I mean, I know people have gone abroad, outside country for months, and they came back. Oh, I forgot to evaluate. So the untimely evaluation created the problem. That is why there is a need to examine the examination system. And of course, the fourth one is untimely declaration of result. A lot of time, you and I are very particular, so we do our job very sincerely. However, once you have evaluated and given the marks to the controller's office, whether it is in the college or in the university, and controller office sat on it, and for months together, they have not declared the result. They have not processed the result. So untimely declaration of result creates a lot of issues among students as well as their parents. And when it involves the career of a student, I think you and I also have been a student. Your and our wards are also students. So we all have to be responsible that the controller's office must not delay, and they must be all not like a typical clerical office that you come at 10 o'clock, go at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock and spend time here and there. You must be very active. Try to, the moment results are in your hand, the controller's office must process it well so that result is declared in a minimum time. Now, why reform the examination system? As I said, to examine the student what they know, not what they don't know. So the purpose is that, as I said, the purpose of examination is to assess the student what they know, not what they don't know. So this is one, to have a meaningful assessment of a student and reduce the time taken for examination, between examination and declaration of results. And who are the players? Who are the players in examination reforms? What we are suggesting? The first and foremost is ourselves. We must own the responsibility as a teacher. The examiners first, they have to have a better reform, better thought process for paper setting as well as evaluation. So the two things. And of course, the examinees, the students, for better understanding. Office of the examination, their punctuality and dedication, which is must. And fourth one, which is a newer one, which must be used, the newer gadgets, so that you can minimize the error and also the time, so that you can declare the result very quick. Do you remember? Some of you, I'm sure, will remember the, say, 15 years, 20 years back, whenever answer scripts used to come to examination department, some of teachers used to go and do coding and decoding, tear the half of the pages of answer script, blah, blah, blah. And then when the evaluation is done, then we realign and do all kinds of tabulation work so that the results are declared. Now those things can be minimized using computers. So you have huge help from newer gadgets, and all examination department must use these gadgets, softwares, to have quick publication of the results. Now, coming to the evaluation system, what UGC had in mind that all theoretical components should have around 50% of core courses must be examined by external examiners. Do you remember earlier times? It was all external, where scripts used to be sent to another university. Say Guwahati University used to send to Dibrugarh, Dibrugarh used to send to Manipur, Manipur used to send to BHU, and blah, blah, blah. Now, I mean, the time has changed because of postal problems and all technological reforms. So sending a script outside, another issue. So then it came to internal. I mean, most of the time it became internal, teacher teaching the course. The only thing which I would like to tell you, give my mind here, besides what UGC has said, to be very frank with you, I don't mind if we examine and we say conduct the examination and we evaluate ourselves. If you and I are good, I think there is no other parallel, no other match. Problem comes that some of us go out of the way to help some college or some student or some relatives or whatever, and that is where the issue came. And as I said, the country is huge. Not everybody is alike. However, if you and I are good, there is no difference between external and internal. I have many examples in NEHU during my time. A lot of time when external examiner comes for our practicals, they used to give more marks than internal. So the issue is that the assessment, what UGC said, that at least 50% you should try to have external evaluations. So as for practicals, they said 50-50 based in external and internal. And now I will tell you, in the new NEP 2020, the graduates, our UG degree is going to be project-based, dissertation-based. And this dissertation has to have both the external and internal, both examiners can assess. Because as I said, that if you and I are good, there is no problem. However, we have to minimize such kind of errors so that the evaluation is perfect. Now, coming to the grading system, as I was telling you a little ago, that instead of percentage, if we can have letter grade or grade point. So as I said, grade point starting from 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and below 4 is the fail, that everybody has to, anyone who gets 4 and above, they are pass. So the 4 is P, pass, 5 is average, C, 6 is above average, B, 7 is good, B plus, and 8 is very good, A, and 9 is excellent, A plus, and 10 is outstanding, O. And of course, some representation, 4 is around 40. Anyone who gets 40 to 44% can be 4, 45 to 49 can be 5, 50 to 54 can be 6. And then we don't compare between 1%, 2%, 3%. I mean, let there be a grading system. This is what was envisaged. Now, this is what I had already explained to you about SGPA, how to compute SGPA and CGPA. That I have already explained to you, but I'll tell you a little better here. This is what I had promised you. This is the illustration to calculate SGPA and CGPA. Suppose in a particular semester, there are 6 courses. That left panel, you can see course 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then you can have credits. Say course 1 has 3 credit, course 2 has 4, 3 has 3, course 4 has 3 credit, 5, 3, and 6, 4. This is the content of the paper. However, suppose a particular student in course 1, 3 credit course gets A grade, letter grade A, and grade point is 8. So you multiply 8 by 3, it becomes 24. And keep on doing until the end. And what you do, all these credit points, which is extreme right side, 24, 28, 18, 30, 15, 24, you add on, it comes to 139. And if you add on all credits in that semester papers, it is 20. So if you divide 139 by 20, it comes to 6.95. And generally we do 2 decimal points. Don't go beyond 2 decimal points. It has no meaning. So 6.95. So it's very easy. So nothing to worry about. Now, what is CGPA? Cumulative grade point average. The same thing what has been done in 1 semester, keep on doing in 2nd semester, then in 3rd semester, 4th semester, 5th semester, and 6th semester. And suppose a student having 20 credit course and semester average SGPA was 6.9. So what you do, you multiply 20 with 6.9. And in 2nd semester, 22 by 7.9, 7.8. And 25, 5.6, keep on doing, credit into SGPA. And finally, you add on and divide by total number of credits in all the 6 semesters, which is around 144. And then you get finally 6.73. And this is pretty good standardized CGPA, and 6.73 CGPA is 6.73. Anywhere you go from one place to another place, this remains constant because those things have been minimized too. Now, how could we reform? How reforms can be taken up? As I said, the first reforms in higher education can be taken up by updating the curriculum. This is first. We must update our curriculum. And you all must be looking at UGC websites regularly. UGC has also done through different committees, expert committee, they have revised the curriculum. They call national curriculum on each subject, whether it is anthropology or history or biochemistry or zoology. So they do. So we can follow national curriculum, and then based on that national curriculum, if you have a local need, you can have some leverage of modifying to the extent of 20% maybe, or 15% or 10%, not more than 20%, to suit your local requirement. But then curriculum must be regularly updated. So this is one. Setting quality questions. This I always emphasize. Please, wherever you are, make sure that you spend time and set quality questions. Doing sincere evaluation. As I said, we should not award average marking. We should go through the script and see who has done what, and accordingly we award the marks, and processing the job in time-bound fashion. So these are the one. Then continue the reforms by introducing the grading system, A, B, C, D, whatever, or This is the letter grade, or the numerical 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, what we have said. And then moving to choice-based credit system, so that today's students should be given choice from basket of courses. And as I said before, choice has to be under the limit. I mean, just an example, suppose you are teaching in a college and college has no music. Hypothetical, I'm just telling, has no music. And now a student insists that I want to have a music. So what do we do? So either we counsel the student that please bear with us, we have no music in the college, and if you go to some distant place, then you will lose your time, you spend your time. So better that you should choose from whatever we have in our college. So there the limit comes up. And I will tell you, we have now, the country has overcome this issue also, that if a course is not available to be given choice to the student in your college, a student can be advised to take from Swayam platform. You know, Swayam, I'm sure you all must have, it is an acronym. It's a study of web from aspiring students who can take online courses, and that we must accrue to their final marks, final grading. So then government has also thought of, in order to remove the limitation of a college, you can take the course which are called MOOCs, MOOC. It's called Massive Open Online Courses, available on Swayam platform that Government of India, MHRD has, and you can surf to the website, you will find out. So you can take those and come and appear in their online examination and transfer that credit to your core credit and get the degree. So there should not be any issue. But choice has to be under the system. Of course, CBCS is a new, so each college and university should have a cell, small cell, to help the student, because counseling is required in the beginning. And of course, inter-institutional transfer of credits. You know why this uniform education system is being envisaged? So that student mobility can be enhanced. You can go from, say, Tamil Nadu to Karnataka, or Karnataka to Odisha, or any other place where you can transfer. Suppose you garner 20 credits from somewhere, and because of some reason you have been transferred to Northeast. So remaining credits you can garner from Northeast, so you don't lose your academic timing. So that is why the University Grants Commission in 2021, I think last year, they came up with a regulation which is called ABC, that Academic Bank of Credit. So the inter-institutional transfer of credit you can have by creating such ABC, Academic Bank of Credits. So UGC has already made the rules for it, so any institution can go through and use it. This is the one I was telling you, that earning and transfer of credits from massive open online courses, MOOCs courses, as I said, which are available on Swayam platform. That, you know, the full form of Swayam, it's called Study Web of Active Learning for Young Aspiring Minds. This platform is already available. You can see what are different courses, undergraduate and postgraduate courses are available, so that anyone can take, and for which I'm sure even NEHU has already made in their rule book, because in your rule book, you have to adopt these regulations, which UGC has given last year, and accordingly you can award the degree. And curriculum reforms, as I said, now when curriculum reforms, when you do, you please make sure that you keep in mind what is the learning outcomes based on curriculum framework. So what called LOCF, there is another word, LOCF, learning outcome based curriculum framework. So whenever you update your curriculum, which UGC has come up, please see what is the purpose. Purpose is to equip the student for their knowledge, skill, values, and attitude. So these are the things which we have to keep in our curriculum, so that better quality students we produce today. Now, how do you assess the learning outcome? A lot of time we ask the questions that how do we assess the learning outcomes? And as I said, I just put it for you. Learning outcomes can be assessed by academic competence, how competent your students are, personal and behavior competence. This is also very important today, which the country is going through. And then, of course, the modern outlook where a student must have entrepreneurial and social competence in them. Now, the all graduates under LOCF, that learning outcome curriculum framework, we should impart the following. One, disciplinary knowledge. So they must have knowledge of the discipline, communication skill, critical thinking, problem solving, analytical reasoning, research related skill. You won't believe this, what I'm giving you, I had made almost 3 years ago, even before NEP 2020 came. And now NEP 2020 is giving a lot of emphasis on research related skill. So this is, I feel happy, and so as you all, that a student must have that skill. We have to instill in them the research related skill. Of course, the teamwork and time management, because teamwork is also very important. You may not achieve alone, which you can achieve through a team. Scientific reasoning, we must inculcate in students, reflective thinking, self-directing. Okay. Hello. Hello. It seems somebody's mic is on. Hello. Hello. It seems somebody's mic is on and there is a lot of disturbance. So please switch off your mic, please. You mute your mic. All right. So is it okay now?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect. So now the today's the need of the hour is to have digital literacy. You can see even post COVID, during COVID, COVID has done a lot of bad, but some good it has done, that everyone has become digitally literate. Even small kids are now using mobiles and all digital platforms. The multicultural competence we have to instill in students, moral and ethical values, leadership readiness, and lifelong learning. As I said, lifelong learning, particularly, there is a word which government of India is using called Jeevan Kaushal. Life is the greatest teacher. People learn from their own life, but in order to learn from your life, you have to have that skill. How to face those challenges in everyday life, and this must have a communication skill. We have to put in the students communicate, because a lot of times they don't communicate. I have been to several institutions under NAC assessment and many other meetings, and particularly, I'm sorry, but a lot of reason-based students, you ask questions, they don't reply, they don't communicate. So you have to develop in a student the communication skill, professional skill, the career and team skill, leadership and managerial skill, and of course, universal human values. What is right, what is wrong, the truth, the peace, love, compassion, and so on and so forth. So these are the Jeevan Kaushal, the life long learning, where we must have in a student these components like communication skill, professional skill, leadership and management skill, and universal human values. Now I will take you a couple of minutes to NEP, the National Education Policy 2020 reforms in UG structure. I'm sure some of you must have seen, some of the universities must have received from UGC. After a lot of debate for almost 2 years, the UGC has come up with the final structure which universities have to adopt. I was just recently in Calcutta, and they had not received, say, 2 months ago, but hope that every state will receive the final guidelines from UGC and go through. Now, it has made our work easier because I have already explained you before NEP some of these terminologies, which now NEP 2020 has in its document. One is called discipline specific course. Say what's called DSC, discipline specific course. Say for biochemistry, all biochemistry papers are discipline specific course. Then we have discipline specific electives. Say for biochemistry, biotechnology can be related to biochemistry, biotechnology, endocrinology, plant biochemistry, so on and so forth. Then we have general elective. Say nutritional biochemistry, nutrition. Nutrition can be a part of biochemistry for general elective. Then we have ability enhancement course called AEC. This is in NEP 2020, these terminologies in the curriculum. Say English communication, environment science, these can be ability enhancing courses that a student can be given option to choose. Then we have a skill enhancement course like SEC, where bioinformatics, biostatistics, research methodology, these can be for any discipline. Research methodology for any discipline can be skill enhancement course, which can be used for research. Then IL, this is another terminology they have used called Indian languages. Now the government has put up that all those Earth schedule languages one can choose from pool of these languages, and you must know a couple of them as I said, choice. The student can be given choice to choose some credits from IL courses, Indian languages courses. Then you have IAPC, which is internship, the apprenticeship, project, and community outreach, these courses. And then VAC, that value addition courses. Now, the basic structure, I'm sure some of you might know better than what I'm giving you, but if you look at the UGC recently notified structure, I have just put the summary for you. Each semester now, as I said, undergraduate program is going to be a 4-year program, which is 8-semester program. And each semester should have 20 credit. Earlier also, we had almost same, exactly same. If you look back, each semester should have 20 credit courses. Yearly, naturally, in 2 semesters, you can have 40 credits. So for 4-year program, you must have 160 credits. So now this is the thumb rule. Then the difference which in NEP 2020 we are going to have, which your institution has to adopt, that UG earlier certificate used to be 1 semester course. Now they are telling that certificate has to be 2-semester course, 1 year, minimum 1 year for certificate courses. So 1 year means 22 semesters and 40 credits you must study to get a certificate. And UG diploma, undergraduate diploma can be awarded. Earlier it was 1 year program, 2 semester. Now it is 2-year program, 4 semester. So you must study 80 credit courses. 80 credits you must have so that you can get UG diploma. Then bachelor's degree in the field of study, you can have 3 years. 3 year means 6 semester. 6 semester means 20 multiplied by 6, 120 credits. So you still have a provision to have a bachelor's degree in 3 years if you earn 120 credits. That's all. However, now you are going to have a bachelor degree with honors. So bachelor degree with honors can be given only when you complete 4 years with 160 credits. 160 credits. On top of that, now you are going to have another component called bachelor's degree with honors with research. Just simply write honors with research, and that must have 12 credit from research. So out of 160 credit that the student has to have, 12 credit must have come from research. and then a student must be awarded the bachelor's degree honors with research. That is the one which is going to go to postgraduate program, and maybe currently they were thinking of 1 year postgraduate, but still they are continuing with 2 years in the new guidelines. So this is the basic fabric of NEP 2020 as far as the undergraduate programs are concerned. There are a couple of things which I thought, what are the features of this program, the new program? This new program, the first one is the flexibility to move from one discipline to another. So there is a flexibility for movement from discipline to discipline. Opportunity for learners to choose courses of their interest. So as I said, choice has to be given to the student. Then facilitating multiple entry and exit. Like suppose you take a student takes the admission, after 1 year can take a certificate and go out. After 2 years can take a diploma and go out. After 3 years can take a degree, just degree, no honors, degree, simple pass and go out. And if you are for 4 years, if students complete 4 years, then you can have honors degree with or without research. So these provisions are there. So a lot of flexibility to have multiple entry and exit for the student. And you can, in fact, there is also provision where you have gone out after say 3 years with simple pass. You can come back after some time and complete the remaining one and get the honors degree. So that provision is there, multiple entry and exit. Then the as I said, flexibility of learners from one institution to another. You can earn credit from one institution, then you add on to another institution and complete your degree from there. And of course, now in the new system, you have flexibility to switch to alternative mode of learning. In the new system, purpose is to earn the credit. Wherever you have earned the credit is not important. How you have earned the credit is not important. You can earn credit from here, from there, from online, from offline, from hybrid mode. All are accepted. Finally, it will all accrue to awarding degree to a student. So these are good features. There are a couple of things which I thought I'll clarify, and you will know better when your university adopts to it. One is called major discipline and minor discipline. This flexibility is also given to the student now. Say a student of, say, economics. So a student of economics must study at more than 50% credits from economic courses. So and then you can have from other discipline, whatever. But a minor discipline can be attached if a student garner at least 12 credits out of those 160, 12 credits from courses like statistics, say, for example, or econometrics. In economics, statistics might be useful. So then that student can be awarded BA degree in economics with minor in statistics. So you have now among the basket of courses, you have major disciplines, you have minor disciplines. So a student can graduate in major with minor in this particular XYZ. Say, suppose a student of social science, sociology can have a minor in history. So as in geography, student can have minor in anthropology. So that can be done. So this is another provision. Now this will be the last, probably, just to summarize the newer, which is going to be there, these terminologies. Say for major degree course, minimum you have for 3-year UG and 4-year UG. Minimum credits required is for major you have to have 80 credits, and for of course 3-year you can have 60. Minor stream, as I said, you can have 24 and 32. Don't go to these numbers, they are not very important. What is important is just keep in mind that the broad areas of category of courses now, which is there, which have to be provided to the student. Say major, minor, multidisciplinary, ability enhancement courses, skill enhancement courses, those who I have already explained you earlier, value added courses, then the summer internship, you have to have internship, research project and dissertation. And this is where all the students, and that is where the undergraduate teaching is going to be very, very vital. And a lot of, I'm sorry, but a lot of support has to come. I mean, rather, I feel happy to any government or any agency which supports the undergraduate teaching and learning, because the NEP 2020 has given a lot of responsibility to undergraduate course. 4-year course, 1 year more. Then you have research. So you have to have laboratory facilities for science departments. So you have to have support, the financial support, the equipment support, the infrastructure support to the college, the faculty support. I mean, if you have a poor faculty strength, how are you going to guide so many students at a particular time? So just keep in mind that you have these courses in the basket from where students can opt, and finally you get the degree. The only thing, keep in mind that total 120 credits if a student earns and wants to go out, you get simple 3-year UG degree, that just BA or BSc, simple BSc. And 4-year UG will have at least 160 credits from wide variety of courses that can be skill enhancement courses or ability or value added, whatever. So I think I'll stop it here, and thank you for your patient hearing, and we can have discussions as you wish to. Hello.
Hi, sir. Hi, sir.
Yeah, right. Can, if you have some queries, questions, maybe you can ask. I'm trying to remove the presentation from here, or we can go to. Just a second. Yeah, you can ask the queries, questions if you have, please.
Excuse me, sir. This is Dr. Georgina. Excuse me, sir. This is Dr. Georgina Shalam, sir.
Okay, please.
Yes, sir. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
So just one clarification, sir, just to confirm. Like for undergraduate, sir, after 3 years, if he exit from the program, he'll get a graduate degree without honors, no, sir?
Yes.
So the student cannot join for a master's degree unless he complete his 4 years, right, sir?
Yeah, that's right. Very true. Very true. Yes.
Okay, sir.
Any other query from anyone?
Sir, I have a query.
Please.
Yes. So, like this at this moment is like a hypothetical situation. Like, let us consider one or more students opt to leave after completing 1 year.
Right.
That means with a certificate.
Yes.
From it now, after a few years, say after 2 years,
yes,
again wanted to come to the same institution.
Correct.
Yes. Now, how they will be accommodated if the existing seats are already filled? So all institutes have certain capacity.
You are right. I think these are all issues which have to be sorted out by the respective colleges. But then government envisages that you have to have those supernumerary, we call it a word supernumerary. Suppose a college has 50 seats and there are 2 students who have come from the back previous years. So you can accommodate those 2 students as supernumerary seats. So no issues. Absolutely no issues.
So that will be practical as long as the number is less.
Yeah, that's right. No, even number is less, that's fine. But I said at any particular time, if in addition to your fixed numbers, if some students have come from previous years, you have to teach them as a supernumerary seat. It's called, not necessary that 50 is so sacrosanct that you cannot teach 51 students. Right? You have to teach
a separate class.
Yes. I mean, if you have a class capacity, you can accommodate in the same class. But if you have no capacity at all, then you have to find out and tell the student to be online. You can be online also.
Okay.
Yes. Yes.
And the other thing is that since research is mandatory,
yes.
Now, is government is going to give funds?
Like, dear, you have asked a $1 million question to me because this can be, and in fact, on your behalf, I have already concluded that government must support the colleges because so much of responsibility has been given to undergraduate colleges, particularly for science departments. It's very difficult. So I'm sure governments will propose the funding and will support. Yes.
Thank you, sir.
Okay.
It is very enlightening.
Okay, thank you. Any other query from anyone? Kwenda, are you around? Kwenda, are you around? Kwendarisa, are you around? Kwendarisa, are you around?
Yes, sir. I'm very much here, sir.
Okay.
Evaluating the
if there are no more queries, then we should close the session.
Teachers, do you have any other queries? Please be interactive with sir. Or is it something too new and you're trying to, trying to absorb things? And is it too new? Any questions from the side?
Kwenda, I used to tell my participants, always my students, that if you don't ask the question, there are two ways only. One, that you have understood everything, or you haven't understood anything.
No. It's very clear, very systematic, sir, the way you have explained.
Okay.
Is there anything that you want to understand more, or is it that you have understood everything very clearly, or is it because it's something very new?
Sir, I got another query.
Yes.
Please.
Compared to the research, a student must have a minimum percentage, like.
Trideep, your voice is cracking. It seems you have to unmute. Yeah,
yeah, so I am on mute. Maybe I don't have the headphone today.
Now it is clear.
Yeah. So the one of the slide you have shown that to enter into the research, like 4-year program, 3-year student can get a degree, but 4th year, if they want to go for research, so they have to get a minimum marks.
Yes.
That is 75%.
Correct. Oh, wonderful. You have understood very well. Yes.
Okay. So that means the confusion is that how we convert this 75%, because we are considering this in grade points.
No. I mean, to be very frank, the credit also can be, I mean, the gist was that suppose you have a student has cleared 75% of. So suppose if total credit is 100, so 75 credits a student must complete before going to that.
Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Well understood. Yes.
So good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah. Sir, this is Deepa Pradhan. Sir,
yes,
I have a personal observation, sir. I just want to know your view on that. Sir, as in the semester system, we have 6 months, for one semester. And the CBCS syllabus and all, they are very extensive. For some units, like the classes allotted is not sufficient for us to impart the knowledge to the students. So in 6-semester timeline with a very extensive syllabus, it becomes very difficult for us to complete. And in the rush to complete our syllabus, we used to just give the overall things, no, just the gist of the topics and not go in the depth.
Right.
And in this NEP system also, I can say that they have extended the 8 semesters, and with other things like diploma, certificate, and all. So it's my personal observation that the knowledge in depth that the students should get, they are not getting. They're just reading the things, performing in the exams, and getting the grades. So what is your take on that?
Deepa, I appreciate your queries because it's always good to have query in your mind. Which institution you belong to?
Sir, I am from Mongoldoy College under Guwahati University, sir, affiliated to Guwahati.
Okay. No, I mean it all depends on the there is as I said, there is a national curriculum. Because when curriculum is designed, it is designed for a particular content, and it is expected that much content a student must know. Now, how to impart, it all depends on the teacher, who is catering or teaching to the student, how much you have to give. And this is a consequence, it comes from below. Suppose, to be very frank with you, if a student of biology has not read biology in class 10, 12 and onward and come to the undergraduate, and then you cannot teach the student a cell, because it is supposed that cell structure and function student must have studied in earlier classes. So I think we all have to innovate ourselves and try to see that the best knowledge can be given within the available time. Because, as I said, the 1 credit course is 1 hour interaction, 1 hour teaching per week for these many. So you have to make sure that you utilize the time.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yes?
Sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Sir, if I may, I would like to add something to that. This is from my experience of the FDP as well, sir.
Can you introduce yourself? Can you introduce and tell us which discipline are you teaching, that it becomes clearer, no?
Sure, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Dr. Reshmi Bhattacharjee. I'm from Assam, Bongaigaon, and I teach zoology, sir.
Yes.
So, sir, I totally agree with what my colleague here was just saying. Like, we find this with various students, they like the classroom teaching or the hours that we devote. At times, it's not enough for them in a semester system. But personally, this is something I think I have picked up from the FDP. I think it will be better, sir, if we can go for a blended mode. Like, I would prefer from now on, after classroom, if I can make some online resources available for my students, so they can go back at their own time and get to it.
Yeah, Rasmi,
so maybe that would be
Rasmi, very well said. In fact, I didn't want to because you are not under my control. So I didn't want to tell this because it doesn't look nice. But it is always good to have extra time or time other than the class, online or whatever way. I appreciate your your thought process that there are what we call good learners and there are poor learners. So each college has a responsibility to help the slow, what you call, instead of poor, you can have slow learners. So you must help the slow learners. How do you help? By giving little more contact with time, either online or offline, whatever. So that is what. Well said, Rasmi.
Thank you, sir.
Can I come in, sir? With one point? Can I come in, sir? With one
point? Okay.
So right from my teaching days in the college, sir, I realized that there are some topics that are very common to life sciences. Like botany, zoo, biochem. See, we teach the same, sir, when it comes to the cell biology, the genetics. So why can't we have a combined paper for all the streams within the college that teaches these common topics, sir, whether it's for social sciences or humanities?
Kwenda, that is where I was hinting at. It has to be boundaryless now, and that innovation has to come from within the college. I know in several US universities, I'm talking about 35 years ago, I attended one of the course in endocrinology at the university level. There was a guy from life sciences. He used to offer a course on endocrinology where any student can go and study. So as you said, that why this boundary of zoology teacher teaching the same cell biology, botany also doing, biotechnology also doing. So the college administration has to plan, and particularly NEP 2020, there are provisions. So there is no classroom boundary now. You have to, so that you can economize or minimize the time and resources. So I can understand that with so limited number of teachers, with such a huge responsibility of catering the course, it's a Herculean task. That is why the colleges must come forward and try to economize and minimize those errors.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Hello. Good, good.
Others are very quiet, especially from the social sciences and humanities. Humanities, you're very quiet. Why? Come up with something.
Excuse me, sir.
Excuse me, sir.
My name is Newmay, and I'm from NZ College. Sir, can you please explain me again about the multiple entry and multiple exit, sir?
Could you just repeat the query?
Sir, can you please repeat once again the multiple entry and multiple exit?
Oh, okay. So nice. You know what is envisaged in the NEP 2020, that suppose a student comes to a college and completes 2 semesters, 1 year, and has some issue at family level, or some issue of having a job, even he gets a job or some responsibility, and doesn't want to continue the study. So earlier times, if you complete 1 year and go, nobody bothers. Now in the new system, if a student, because of whatever reason, wants to go out, then you can issue a certificate, let's say BA or UG certificate, because he or she has completed 2 semesters, and that student can go and tell that, look here, I have completed certificate course, UG certificate course. So after 2 years, if somebody leaves, then you can have diploma, UG diploma, so on and so forth. So this is exit. Now, as I said, multiple entry, that is student who had left after 1 year or 2 years. After 1 year or 2 years, his family situation or his system is fine, and he is ready to complete the remaining years. So he can again come back, and you should not deny him. You should take him, and then he can garner remaining credits and get the degree. So this is what the
Sir.
Yes.
Sir, my name is Mitali Rabha. I'm from Assam. My department is anthropology. I have one query.
Please.
In our college, sir, only 2 departments have PG. When new learning education program is come, then is it compulsory every department to PG courses?
No, absolutely no. It's not compulsory. You award the degree to the student. The student has a competition and go anywhere. So from your college, if somebody can opt for those 2 programs which you are offering, fine. Remaining can go to another neighboring college or another neighboring university or anywhere. So now, as I said, it is boundaryless. You can go anywhere. No. And in fact, government is also, some of you might have heard, is also planning that you can merge, you can close some of the colleges or merge the neighboring colleges. Suppose there is a college which is having only 2 subjects, so or 3 subjects. There is no need to have those. You merge with another college, and then you can design your curriculum so that a student can have better benefit than being in one single college. They call cluster of cluster of colleges, the newer world which is coming up. So not necessary that every college should have a PG program. No.
Hello, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Hello, sir. May I ask you a question, sir? I'm
Please.
Divita Sharma from Assam, Guwahati. Sir, I want to know something about integrated courses which are available right now. Say, for example, law, discipline, etc. So, what would be the structure of CBCS system in case of integrated courses? Maybe there is a structure, but I'm not that much aware of it. My next question to you, sir, is there any inclusion of extracurricular activities, say for example sports or skills like oratory, debating, etc.?
Yeah, you are right. It is already available. It is already available. Yeah, it is already given into the program that every curriculum which any student is opting, you have to have this say what is curriculum, skill development, the back courses, the value addition courses they have to have. Like suppose somebody interested in ethical issues, say ethics, the students should be given opportunity either online or offline. If available offline in your college, can take it. So there are a lot of opportunity even in having extracurricular opportunity. That is the whole preamble of this new policy, new education policy. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Hello. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This is Dr. Deeplata Gupta from Lucknow. Sir, I want to know that if a student maybe if a student can exit from 1 year for certificate course, so when he will want to join another diploma for if he want to persuade his diploma courses, so whether it is allowed that if a student can have to submit or have to given any proof of this gap. Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Your voice is go ahead.
Either the student will have to. Hello. So, either the student will have to provide any gap certificate or gap document. Like when
yes, we are going to be very frank. I got your point.
Yes, sir.
Just keep in mind. Just please, all of you should keep in mind that NEP 2020, the way it has been framed, anything is possible at any stage. So just keep in mind. Take care.
Okay.
It is all student friendly. The purpose of this is to remove all kinds of boundaries around. And with you, when you have so much of facility, then asking for this paper, ask for that paper, I think those things will. A student leaves after 1 year. That a student leaves after 1 year, then how many years he or she can come back? 10 years, 5 years, 20 years. So that is a very question which anyone can ask. And I think is to have limit of probably 5 years. So because 3 years is already available. So after leaving a course, after 3 years, you will ask the certificate. Actually, you will ask the certificate that if you wants to take in second year admission, then you will ask for the certificate. It is not that you will not ask. So there is no issue. But the only thing that boundaries, rules, regulations have to be much flexible. That's all. Chalo, anything else?
So I'm hopeful that you all have been benefited by Sir's lecture. So I'm hopeful that you all have been benefited by Sir's lecture, teachers.
Quandarisa, it seems there are no queries, so we should close this discussion.
Yes, sir. Yes. So, thank sir.
Sir, I have a request. Please share your PPT.
Okay,
Yes, sir.
that
Yes,
I
sir.
will.
Sir,
I'll do
sir, I
that.
have one query.
Where were you before?
Sir, I am from West Bengal.
Please ask. Please ask.
Okay, sir. Actually, there are disparities in the implementation of credit system at the university or college level in various states. You know, so a student leaving a course, after 1 or 2 years, and wish to continue her course after 1 year in a different state. So, how he or she could fit in the system?
Yeah, this is what we have been explaining that NEP 2020 envisages that in order to minimize this disparity, if a student has studied for 1 year, so must have cleared at least 40 credits. So the student already has 40 credits in his hand or her hand, and then breaks. Then after 1 year or 2 years or 3 years, if they go to another institution, so that institution has to accept that 40 credits in her or his credit. So that part is very clearly stated. So each institution has to adapt to it, because credit is the one which defines the content of the paper. So if a student has achieved a certain credit, whether it is from Northeast, from South India, it is just the same.
Yes, so sir, uniform system need to be adopted.
Yes, correct.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Kinjai, are you there to thank, sir? Kinjai, are you there? Kinjai Lam, can you hear me?
Sir, may I have a question, sir?
Okay, very good. I feel happy. Please, but we have to once or at least sometimes. Chalo.
I have a question on curricular components and credit apportionment for courses of within the 4-year undergraduate program as per NEP 2020. So, in the credit pro forma, it is given that on curricular component, common courses, 24 credits in UG programs, and introductory courses, 18 credits, and introductory courses for vocational courses on 6 credits, sir.
Right.
And here it is written that within first 3 semesters, these courses has to be completed.
Right.
Then from 3rd semester, major and minor interdisciplinary or disciplinary courses have to be started.
Correct.
In the major and minor courses, the 48 credits and 36 credits has been given for 3 semesters,
Right.
including advanced course, field immersion, community engagement and other services, sir. So my question is, in 3 semesters, almost 90 plus credits have been given. Is it rationable, sir?
Oh, well, I mean, to be very frank, it is not, because each semester should have around 20 credits. So total in 3 semesters, if you are talking, you can go to 60 credits. So I don't know which university you are and which paper you are going through, but please don't worry about it. It is the responsibility of your university to which your college is affiliated. That is the one which has to issue the guideline based on the national curriculum. So I think there should not be any issue at that stage.
No, sir, I have not.
Because my telling will not help you.
I am. It is written in national framework, sir.
Right. This is what I am telling you. That national framework has to be adopted, studied by your institution, particular institution. They are the one who will guide you. Because if I say something, it will not be helpful in your institution, because your institution has its own academic council, its own institute council, its own regulatory framework. So based on national curriculum, when they discuss, you can point out to your university whatever a board of studies and board of the undergraduate and postgraduate studies, and they are the one who have to correct this.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Professor Sharma, for having given your in-depth.
I take this opportunity to say good morning to Ramesh also.
Hi Rajesh, how are you, dear?
Yeah, good.
So nice to see you. So
Yeah.
nice to see you. Good.
Yeah, I was listening to your last few minutes. Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I don't know if the students are hearing, but a lot of miles need to be covered before actually this becomes a reality.
Yes. Chalo, so okay, Rajesh, so you take care.
Thank you so much, Sir Sharma. Thank you so much. And have a good day, sir. And wish you all the best, sir. Thank you.
Thank you,
And
Kantisha.
remember us in prayers also, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Ramesh.
Bye. Bye, Rajesh.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Katin. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.